Hey everyone, we're going to go through these two graphs here to kind of go over some of the new pieces of information that we've gone over since the quiz. If you need to review anything that's back in the quiz, function notation, substituting numbers in, things like that, go check that video out and you'll be good to go. Make sure you subscribe too so you can always get updates whenever I put up a new video. That way it remains really easy. So let's go through these graphs real quick. Alright, domain. So we're looking at the x values. So we are starting here. And because of this arrow, it's always going to go up and to the right. So when you go to the right, we're going to positive infinity. So we can say 0 to positive infinity. The range will actually start, if I had a little platform going up, it would actually start here at -2. Included, and this arrow tells me I'm going to go up and up forever, so you get a little parentheses. There is no symmetry here. There are a couple of extrema points. There are, let's go ahead and start looking at some here. Let's have another time. You have one here and here. Now, what this is this one down here, since there is no point lower than this point here, which is 1.5, -2, that would be an absolute minimum. So you could say an absolute minimum at 1.5, -2. And then over here, you've got a maximum, but the thing about it is, since this line's going to keep going up forever and ever, there's going to be points up here that will be higher than that, so this is a relative max. So you get a relative max at 1/2, 2, and that's all there is to that. Going from there, you can see that there are no constant intervals. The graph never flattens out any. Increasing intervals, so there's a few of these, so what you have to look at, let's change colors here. Here we go. What you have to look at is, where does my graph change from going up to then going down? So you can see here where it changed. If you split your graph up like this, you can see that, oh, it's going up from here to here. Make sure you use your x values. So from 0 to 1/2, the graph goes up. So I'm going to change that color. That's kind of hard to see, right? 0 to 1/2, it goes up. And then from 1/2 between here and here, 1/2 to 1.5. Okay, it is decreasing. And then after that 1.5, it goes up forever, so 1.5 to infinity. Now, let me move that. I wrote that in the wrong spot. Let's see if I can't move that up here. There we go. 1.5. And then I'll get rid of this guy. There we go. Okay, so yeah, 2 increasing, and then that 1 decreasing. X-intercepts, these should be easy now, where it crosses the x-axis. You've got 0, 0, 1, 0, and 2, 0. All right here. And there is one y-intercept also right there at 0, 0. Now, positive intervals. Here's the thing with those. I'm going to get rid of these green lines here. This is when your graph is either above the x-axis or below, when the y values are positive or negative. Well, if you went in and saw this part of the graph is positive. So from 0 to 1, it's positive. From 1 to 2, this is negative. This is all down below the x-axis. So from 1 to 2, it's negative. And then after that, it goes up forever. So from 2 to forever, it's going to be positive. So from 2 to infinity. Okay? Now, in behavior is been the most difficult thing for everyone, so let's just look. Okay. There's always a left and right side, so I want to go to the left end of my graph. So I'm just going to follow my graph until I get to the end. And sure enough, it ends right here at this point, 0, 0. So my end behavior over here, as the x value goes to 0, my y value is also going to 0. That was on my left side. Now let's see where my graph's going on my right. So I do this and follow, and then I wind up going to this infinity. Now it is going up, obviously, but as it goes up, it is going to the right as well. So when we're talking about our arrows here, we're going to have two directions. It's going to go right and up here. So it's going to infinity to the right for x. And let me see if I can draw it a little bit better. And it's also going to positive infinity for the y. Okay. Now, looking at this one, the domain here. Yeah, let me move this one back to red. So this has an arrow over here and an arrow over here. So this is going up and to the left. So it's going to go left forever. So we're going to go all the way out to negative infinity. And this arrow is going to go up and to the right, so I'm going to also go to the right forever. The thing that's different here is the range. The range starts right here at negative 3. And then if I went up and up and up, these arrows tell me that I'll go up to infinity forever. Okay. So moving on. Symmetry, there's none. Extreme of points, there are several here. So let's look where it bottoms out, tops out, or bottoms out. And for this, since we kind of ran out of a little room here, I'm just going to write them up here. This point right here would be a minimum. And because there's a point lower than it down here, this is a relative minimum. And that point right there is negative 2, positive 2. Compare that to this point where it kind of tops out there, that would be a relative maximum, because this arrow tells me that there are points over here that are higher than that, so that is negative 1, 3. And then we have this point, which there are no points lower than this, so this is going to be an absolute minimum. Okay, so that's 2, negative 3. And that's all it is for your extreme points right there. Now looking at constant intervals, there are no constant intervals because nothing ever flattens out. However, there are some decreasing intervals here. So what I'm going to do is, if you need to keep an eye on this part, okay, I'm going to erase this. Just go back in the video if you need to. Okay. And let's see what happens. I can split my intervals up here, here, and here, because look what happens. I'm coming down, 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 down. So this part of the graph is decreasing. So one decreasing interval is from negative infinity, left to right, negative infinity to negative 2. It is decreasing the whole time. So decreasing interval. There you go. And this, between negative 2 and 1, is going up a little bit. So there's an increasing interval, negative 1. Now, from negative 1 to 2, this graph is going down. So between here and here, it's decreasing. And then from 2 to forever, right, the graph's been going up. So from 2 to infinity. Okay. Now, let's see if I can change colors here. Looking at x-intercepts, where the graph crosses the x-axis, we're pretty strong here. That is at a half 0. And then over here at 4, 0. You have one y-intercept right there at 0, 1. There are some positive intervals. So the graph again, I'm going to erase, and you can go back if you need to. So let's look closely here. So again, look at your x-intercepts, because that's where stuff can potentially change. So everything to the left over here from 1/2 back is all above the x-axis. So all of this part is positive. So from negative infinity to 1/2, it is positive. Then between 1/2 and 4, it's down here and it is negative. So between 1/2 and 4. And then after 4, so from 4 on to infinity forever, it's going to be positive. So 4 to infinity. Don't mind that little bit. Okay, so above the graph, below the graph, and then this is all going to be above, so positive. All right, and then finally, our end behavior. So again, just follow your graph. Okay, I'm going to go over here to the left side. Up, it's going up to an arrow, so it's going left and up, so it's going to negative infinity and positive infinity. So as x goes to negative infinity, y goes to positive infinity. Follow my graph to this side. This time it's going right and up, so as x goes to positive infinity, y is going also to positive infinity. That's it. Review anything that you need. Take as much time as you want. Please subscribe, because that helps you see everything get updated. And we'll go from there. Y'all are awesome. Stay awesome. And let me know if you have any questions.